Hello fellow football connoisseurs and welcome back to the Quick Take. Lots of news again today. Of course, we have some updates regarding Marc Cucurella, an update regarding Thomas Tuchel's potential future destination. We have an update regarding Thiago Silva and some news regarding Darwin Nunes of all players. But before I get into that, just like to remind you that I'm currently running a giveaway with OwnASaber.com. We're at 15,000 subscribers. I'm giving away 3 King of London lightsabers. All you need to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and then check the pinned comment down below. Starting off with the news, let's go with Marc Cucurella. Why not? Let's start with Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella has made a return to partial team training, and this news here presents the question: would you rather Ben Chilwell be starting throughout the season or next season, or would you rather Marc Cucurella? Because it does feel like Chelsea will be letting one of those go and maybe going after a left back in the summer. We have been linked with Kirkies of Bournemouth. We've also been linked with Alphonso Davies, but it does look like a move to Real Madrid is the more possible future regarding Alphonso Davies. And so Chelsea do have not a dilemma, but we have something to think about when it comes to the left back position. Of course, we're selling Lewis Hall and Ian Matson, which leaves us with really Ben Chilwell, Marc Cucurella, and then Levi Colwill, who can play as deputy. But in an ideal world, we would have an upgrade regarding the left back situation. But do we start Marc Cucurella ahead of Ben Chilwell? And right now, I've not been incredibly impressed from what I've seen since Ben Chilwell has returned. The game that really comes to mind, and it's probably his worst performance, so maybe that's swaying the way I'm thinking of things, but his performance against Liverpool was really quite poor. And I think he'd just come back from injury as well, so that probably wasn't helping his case, but he was subbed at half-time, if I remember correctly. I just think Cucurella's been a bit more consistent this season when he has played. You know, he's been able to fill out the right back spot. He's played well there before. He was able to play left back, of course. So I think in terms of versatility, I think Marc Cucurella would be the smart option going forward. But for someone who maybe is a little bit more experienced in English football and who is English, and the club do look at that positively, and who has been given the vice captaincy badge, maybe the club will stick with Chilwell and then Cucurella will be gone in the summer. But it's a dilemma for another day. Marc Cucurella is returning to Chelsea. Who would you prefer to start at left back? Marc Cucurella or Ben Chilwell? Now let's move on to the goalkeeper situation. So Chelsea are of course playing Liverpool on Sunday in the EFL Cup final, Carabao Cup final, chance to get European football, although we may not be able to afford European football. But we have this from Maurizio Pochettino. Yes, I've decided the goalkeeper who's going to start, and I have 99% of the team in my head. Obviously, I can't read minds, but if it's Sanchez, I had to disagree with that selection. I think Petrovic has done enough this season in order to deserve that spot at Wembley in the final. I think he's been a lot more reliable in terms of not making guffs that lead to chances against us and goals against us. I saw a rumour that apparently Chelsea are looking to sell Sanchez come this summer. I think it's going to be rather difficult. He's on a prison contract, 7-8 years, and I think Ramsdale and Giorgio Mamardashvili, who is actually a player I've actually covered on the channel a number of times before, and I've actually analysed him on the channel. I quite like him, but apparently those are the two ones that may be being linked to Chelsea. But it's from Graham Bailey. I'm not too sure how reliable it is, but Chelsea of course will have a decision to make, or Pochettino has and already has made the decision for the goalkeeper come Sunday. I really do think Georgia Petrovic has done enough to deserve that spot for the rest of the season. We also have this from Paul Winstanley. Well, not Paul Winstanley, but Paul Winstanley wants a player. Paul Joyce reporting this with Time Sport. Paul Winstanley saw an inquiry rejected by Liverpool for Darwin Nunes last summer. Winstanley is a fan of the player. Now, of course, Darwin Nunes has come to Liverpool, and he's not set the world on fire, but he's not been god-awful. And we saw this against Chelsea. That game springs to mind a lot when I'm thinking about Chelsea at the moment. But when he played against us, what I saw from him was a very hungry striker who was desperate to score goals, but just didn't have that final edge about him in order to convert his chances he was given and to finish off the chances he created for himself. You know, he hit the crossbar and the woodwork, what, 3-4 times? I swear he set a record that game for the amount of times he hit the woodwork. Very, very unlucky. If he's able to fine-tune his tools in order to score more goals and be more consistent in front of goal, like a striker like Erling Haaland, although Haaland had a stinker against Chelsea, but if he's able to do that, then Darwin Nunes has the potential to be one of the best strikers in the Premier League right now. Would I take him at Chelsea? We have other options. I think Chelsea should prioritise moves for Victor Osimhen and Cucurella, who is now on 40 goals and assists this season. Absolutely incredible season he is having over at Sporting. But moving on to the next news story. Thomas Tuchel would reject a move to West Ham or any London club out of his love for Chelsea. He won't manage another London club. However, he is attracted to Manchester United. That is coming from Bild. Pretty reliable for German sources, and of course, Bundesliga coach, German coach, they're going to know the stuff. I don't really know what other club Tuchel could really go to other than Spurs, maybe. I don't think Arsenal are sacking Arteta anytime soon. There was a rumour that maybe Arteta may be kind of linked to the Barcelona job, but I think that's been disproven very quickly. But Thomas Tuchel, again, I can see him going to Manchester United. I really can, and I can see it going poorly. I can actually see it going poorly. I really like Tuchel, but when you look at his time at PSG towards the end, when we look at Chelsea towards the end, and when you look at Bayern now, things just haven't worked out. It does seem like he has a somewhat divide when it comes to working with members of the authority at clubs, and this could prove to be a fatal flaw in his way of doing things, especially if it does go to Manchester United. But that leads us on to our final news story of the day. Mauricio Pochettino says Silva could start the final decision tomorrow after training. Interesting one again. I do feel like Chelsea play a different way with Thiago Silva, because we do have to, although he's fantastic in terms of reading the play, positioning himself to make up his lack of pace in terms of competing with the faster players, the faster wingers, we do set up slightly differently when it's not Colwill and Disasi playing, because with Colwill and Disasi, both of them have the pace and both of them have the, I want to say, energy to really get stuck in, whereas Thiago Silva might look to preserve himself slightly more and not go into those one-on-one races. It'll be an interesting one. I really think that the Colwill-Disasi partnership is working well, and in my opinion, I would bring on Silva maybe as a substitute in the 60 minutes, just so if we are in a winning position, or if it's 1-1 or 0-0 or 2-2, then it'll be very handy to bring on a centre-back with lots and lots of experience in terms of winning trophies, and who can almost provide a little bit of stability to the side coming into the final moments of the game. And he is able to score goals from corners. We've seen that this season. But would you start Thiago Silva in the Carabao Cup final instead of Axel Disasi? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That about wraps up today's video again. Marc Cucurella is making his return to Chelsea soon. Who would you prefer at left back at this current moment in time? Ben Chilwell or Marc Cucurella? Poch, who do you think is going to be playing in net on Sunday? Petrovic or Sanchez? Paul and Stanley wants Darwin Nunes. Would you take him at Chelsea, or do you think we should prioritise other strikers? Osimhen, Cucurella, Sesko. Thomas Tuchel, what do you think would happen if he went to Manchester United? Do you think it will work, or do you think it would crumble much like his time at Bayern Munich? Thank you all so much for watching. If you like the video, like, comment and subscribe. I've been the Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.